Hey, welcome everyone. Welcome back to caskrabbits, another fun episode. Today we got something really special. A good friend of mine, Cato, thank you to Cato, was able to get us these bottles. Actually, we're splitting them. It's a great way to try stuff if you can. That way you don't have to pay full price. But he let me use the bottles to open them, to share them with you, and then the bottles are going back with him, and I'm keeping half of the liquid, so that works. So Black Maple Hill is a very old brand that I guess kind of went out of favor. And then Rare Character, who you guys know because you've seen some of these bottles before like this, right, with the fun top. And then I get to use my super tool on these. At least this one you don't have to. Rare Character is the one that's making the Black Maple Hill bourbon, and they're returning. That's Peter and Pablo. They're basically NDPs, right? So they're sourcing the distillate. What's interesting tonight is we're going to get to open them. We're going to try them. We'll see how they evolve as we go. So the first one, let's open it. This is the small batch. If I can open it. Oh yeah, here we go. We've got a friend. As I like to say, there's a commercial in Phoenix. We have a friend in the diamond business, and I use that to say, okay, we're in the game. We're good to go. So we're going to pour that. See how that is. There we go. We'll let it aerate while I open the second one here. And this is the small batch, like I said, is 4 to 7 years old. It's about $70 to $90. $69.99 is the retail, but since they're hard to find, sometimes liquor stores will charge you a little bit more. That's kind of par for the course, especially if something, is more rare character. This is the 11-year. So this is about $200 a bottle from what I understand. And that's the MSRP. So quite a bit more. We're playing with the big boys. What's interesting though, for $200, it better be good because they're both 95 proof. And if I didn't notice, but when you look at the bottle at the bottom, it tells you that it's a 700 milliliter. So they stole 50 milliliters each for us. So there's another one. So it makes it even a little bit pricier. And then you add taxes and things like that. It gets interesting. So, all right, let's take a look at this. On the nose. Ooh, this is nice. Oh, I definitely get a lot of citrus. Some spices. I don't know if it's baking spice or cinnamon, but definitely it reminds me of the Rittenhouse a little bit. So I have to think that there's quite a bit of rye in this. Decent amount of rye. I'd love to know the mash bill, but they don't disclose that and they don't tell you where the distillate is from. Let's look at the nose on the 11-year. Surprisingly, it's maybe it's also just because it's opened. It's very similar, honestly. But maybe a little bit more intense since it's about, we're going to guess, 5 years older. Yeah, you know what? It's very similar. So I'd say, I'm smelling a lot of citrus notes, a little bit of vanilla, and spice for me. That's what I get. All right, let's look on the palate. The palate it's nice. It's got some toffee, some baking spice. What I like more is the finish. The finish is balanced. It's weird. Like, so on the palate, it's 90. So like I said, it's 95 proof. So it's not super punchy. Obviously, you're not going to get that. Okay. Like I've said in my videos before, you probably need 3 or 4 sips. So we'll do 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4, 3 and 4. Now we're getting a little bit more of the oak, a little bit more of the caramel. That's pretty good, actually. That's really good for a low proofer like that. I call it a low proofer because if you look in back here, we've got some stuff that's kind of crazy. Like here, that's 140. A lot of stuff at 120, 110, 115. So 95 is really more on the lower side. It's opening up. So that's the key. I like to do the opening of the bottles, but personally, actually, if I'm doing a review, I almost think it's better to do it if you're at the shoulder of the bottle. Okay, that's way better. Is it 2x better? Probably. So on this, you get the citrus, but you get like orange marmalade. It's like candied marmalade. It really reminds me of the Rittenhouse. It's crazy. I don't want to go off camera, but I really want to try the orange candy. I guess I can always cut and come back. But oh, you can even smell it on the nose. Oh wow. Okay, yeah. So when you side by side the nose, this is much more intense than this. So you get some of the flavors in the 4 to 6 years old that you do in the 11. But in the 11, they're just more well put together, more intense. They're really reverberate. So that age in the whiskey, the 5 years difference or so, it does make a big difference. Oh, well, that's really good. Yeah. Now I'll tell you what, for 97 proof, like for example, if you look at like Eagle Rare 12, you do not get that kind of finish. So I almost say like, yeah, I have some some opinions now. I mean, if you can't afford this one, you buy that one. But if you can afford that one, I think it's worth the if you're willing to spend the money. Not everybody's gonna want to spend that. Or you do what I did. You find a good friend and you split the bottle in half. That way you can experience it, but you don't have to break the bank either. And that's a great way to do bourbon. I do this all the time. You see all these little bottles back there, like this? Like this. So for example, I wanted to try the Bourbon Cowboy. So I got like I think this is like a third of a bottle. And then like this is a half of a bottle of a Buff Turkey Cromwell 15 year. But you know, I don't want to spend, you know, $300. So maybe I get a half a bottle of that. Still expensive, but at least I can get there and not feel like I'm crazy. Okay, let's finish up this tasting. This is growing on me in the sense that this is great to start with. You know, $70, if you can get it for MSRP, let's say you can get it for 80 or 90, that's a great bourbon. That's delicious. And I would say like if you give that to somebody that's never had bourbon, they're really gonna like it. They're gonna like the fruitiness. There's some sweetness, but then there's some spice and a little bit of bitter. But that's the spicy, bitter kind of, I think that's the rye. I'm really curious what the content of the rye is on this. Oh, this is so good. Wow. That just lingers and stays with you. If you're in the world of wine, we call it, so my grandfather, who is French, like me, obviously, he was from Normandy, and he's kind of the one that we first started learning about wine. That's a side story, but I always remember that he always talked about the finish, right? Like, so some wines, they'll be super punchy, strong, you know, you drink it, tastes good, but then boom, it just falls off. Whiskey's same. And like here, you're gonna fall off much quicker. Here, it's still with me. It just lingers and it gives you a little bit of a hug. I mean, it's amazing. At 95 proof, it's incredible what they did. I'd love to know the story. I guess we'll have to call Peter and Pablo and ask them like, hey, what's your secret? What's the distillate? They won't tell us, but it would be really cool to talk to them and go, you knocked it out of the park. I heard they have a 16-year, which is the black bottle, but that's like $500 MSRP. I don't know. I mean, if I could try it like a 2-ounce sample, I'd pay for that, you know, just to be able to see side by side what it's like. But Otherwise, I probably would skip the $500 or $600 16-year bottle. Anywho, Black Maple Hill, it was a really great, fun try. If you see it, I would lean towards this one. If you can't afford that one, this is still a good, I think at the money, 70, 80 bucks, it's still a good buy. It's got a lot of flavors. It's different. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. We had fun today, and I will catch you on the next episode of Cask Rabbits. And Hamilton says hi. Bye-bye.